Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today is the day. We are bringing you the Buck 110 Classic Hunter Knife. Originally designed in 1964 by the Buck Company. It was originally designed as a folding hunting knife, an option to a fixed blade. There's just so much information about these knives, so much history behind them. This particular one is a 1986 with the M425 steel, my original first Buck 110. I've been using this as my deer hunting knife for a long time. A lot of years. Great deer hunting knife. They come in many different flavors. I got a few of them here that I'm going to show you today. The newest flavor of it is the ebony wood. Buck has now gone back to the ebony wood as of a couple of years ago. They sourced new ebony wood with Gibson guitars. And they're now sourcing the wood from Africa. You can read up on it. It goes way back to, the trees, and they were, it was a limited resource and protected resource in Africa, yada, yada, yada. Now somehow they got their hands on a new source of the wood, and they're using it for basically their classic line of knives. This is the newest one that they have coming out today with the dark ebony wood. I love the dark ebony wood. I think it just is sharp. Here's a comparison with the original. So this is a newer one. This is a 2019. This is a 2012 version. Looks like my older one. I have 6 of these myself. Looks the same. You can get the bolsters now in aluminum, brushed aluminum. You can get the scales in a lot of different variety of different types of things. The steels now are changed. You can probably get, I don't know, 4 or 5 different steels now in these knives. This is particular. This is one right here. It's a different one. This is oak. This was a custom run that Buck did with oak scales, with the 5160 steel. Sharp looking. I always love the different varieties. There are some guys that just have hundreds of these knives, then they collect them. Huge collectible people just collect the crap out of these things. This is a Pro Hunter with the silver bolsters, brushed aluminum. I don't know if it's aluminum now, but it's brushed. The G10 scales, sharp looking. And this is S30V. S30V. Now, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but I'm going to put it on the video. This is a date chart that Buck has. And on their knives, at the base of the knife, they have a symbol. And it correlates to a year. But it only goes back to 1986. And then before that, you can see the different tang stamps up here, but you don't know the exact year. You just know the date range. So between 72 and 86, they did the Buck 110 with the USA on it, and then before 72, it was just Buck USA, and then before 67, it was just Buck. So for the people that don't know that, I'll put that out there. Size comparison. I'm not going to get into specs with these knives. Is it a heavy knife? Yep, it's a heavy knife. Very heavy. But that's not what it was designed for. This knife was designed for basically a folding fixed blade option. That was the original intention of this knife. So usually if you went out with a large fixed blade, now you had the option to buy a folder that basically acted as a fixed blade. Now, I agree. You know, you open this thing up and lock it, and it's locked tight, and it cuts just like a fixed blade. Has a thicker handle in comparison to a modern flipper. I just got this this little flipper here, but you know, it's twice the size of a regular flipper, thickness wise. Made out of brass, heavy, but that's part of the, I don't know, I think it's just part of what I like about it. It's just that it's just a solid knife. It's just a chunk of steel in your hand, and you feel like you're using something, a nice tool. I've always loved it. 1986 was my personal first knife, Buck 110. But we've had these in our family for a long, long time. My older brother had a 112 for many, many years. He got it in the 70s. And here's an example of a 112. This particular one is a 50-year anniversary. Can't see it, but it has the 50-year badge, and they come with the special 50-year Buck USA blade on it. So it's something special that they do. They came out with the 112. This is the 50th year. Came out in 72. The reason they came out with the 112, and I will be doing a separate review on this. I don't want to get off topic, but they came out with the 112 because of, as far as I know, it's because of the carry rules, the length, the blade length. Someone's a 4-inch blade on a 110. In a lot of states, you weren't allowed to carry a 4-inch blade. It was a 3-inch blade max, just like here in Pennsylvania. I'm in PA. And they came out with the 112. So that would be legal to carry, because so many people just carry these as their daily carry option. Just a classic knife. You know, if you don't think that this is a viable option for a knife, a carry, even a daily carry knife, you probably haven't used one enough. That's my particular opinion. Because just the way this blade is ground with the hollow ground, and the geometry of the blade, the thinness behind the edge, they cut very nice. The style of the knife for deer hunting, I didn't always use the 110 for deer hunting. I used a couple different knives, but I used primarily most of my years deer hunting. I used a 110, and the size of the knife to get in there without getting too graphic, it's almost perfect size wise. You can't use a huge knife for deer hunting because of certain tasks that you have to do. It's actually nice to have a skinner, and I will bring a little skinner that Buck has, which I will be doing a review. This is one of their newer ones. This is a 113 skinner. And size compare. I didn't do the size comparison with the 112. Here's a size comparison with the skinner. So it's almost the same size. It's a little bit shorter. But, you know, a little bit more belly on an actual skinner. But there's plenty of belly on a 110. Another important aspect of a hunting knife is you want it to have a nice sharp point for piercing. So you want to get through the hide, and you want to be able to have a piercing ability. Here's another comparison, a 195 192 Vanguard. Another great hunting knife. Classic lines on this. Very similar in blade geometry and shape even. This is a drop point though. This is a clip point. But like I said, they're both pointy and they have belly on them. And that's what you want in a hunting knife. Short story. Well, I don't know if it's a short story. You're going to have to go read about it. In 1999, a hunter protected himself with a buck 110 from a 750-pound Kodiak bear. And the moral of the story was, he was a 69-year-old man that got attacked by a Kodiak bear and lived to tell the tale. Believe it or not. It's very hard to believe. But a buck 110 defended a hunter against a life and death situation, and he actually killed the bear, believe it or not. Killed the bear with a 4-inch blade. But I guess he hit a vital, an artery, I don't know. The man was lucky though, and he did get very injured. Very, very injured from that encounter. And he was in hospital for a long time. And it's just amazing that he survived that, especially being at 69 years old. That's not young. And looking at my time here. Oh, I'm over 10 minutes. Okay. I thought I had a 10-minute limit to my... I should have shaved. Look at this. Too much laziness, man. I should have shaved for my buck 110 video, and I didn't. It's just amazing that you wouldn't think that a 4-inch blade you could get and do that much damage to a large animal like that. So, I mean, I'm assuming he probably hit an artery and I guess he bled out. I don't know. It's just amazing. Buck 110s, man, are just... I love the Buck 110s. Here's the Pro again. You can get Stag. You can get... some of the other steels that they use is S40... what is it? S45V? They've been using now. These are 428Cs for the people that don't know. Not this one. The regular Buck 110s are 428Cs, hardened to a Rockwell of 58, which is very good for a 420C. That's pretty hard for a 420C. I think the S130V is 60 under the Boss heat treats. But it's just amazing. I had also... Since I had used these for so long, I actually purchased 2 of these for my son and my daughter a few years back. And this is a 19, it's a 2016. Just a regular buck. It's been in the sheet, so it's got some tarnishing. I got to put it on the buffer. So they each of them have their own buck 110 for hunting. My daughter did use hers on her first buck a few years ago. Worked like a charm. These are 2016s. I actually purchased these on Amazon for $27 at the time. Now the price of these have gone up to $60. That's been recently within the last year because of the cost of materials and all these crazy things that are happening. Another thing is, I didn't do the comparison. Let me do a comparison of the 112, and I gave you the blade differences, but the handle is shorter too. So here's the difference between the Buck 110 and the Buck 112. So it's about 1.25 inches overall length shorter. Beautiful. I love these things. So many people collect these things. Here's another option, a classic Schrade LB7. They had these back in the 70s. Was a direct competition with the Buck 110. Another great classic. I have a few of these too. This is the one I did the restore video on. Came out real good. Looks nice. I am going to do a couple more videos on Schrades. I got some more Schrade videos I got to do. But Buck 110, man, unbelievable. So much history with these knives. People love them so much. There's such a following. You know, I waited to do this video. I didn't really know how to attack it. Because I knew there was a lot of information. But I think I covered all the points. It's just a fantastic knife. They're putting carry clips on these things now. They have lightweight models. So they're trying to make it a little bit more modern, I guess, for today's pocket carry age. Obviously, these things came with a sheath that you wore on your belt. But I think those days are pretty much gone. I like pocket carry. I like to have a pocket clip. Something I can just flick open with a flipper. This is my EDC here. But yeah, just an unbelievable knife. If you guys don't have a 110, go out and buy one. See what it's all about. Try it. Use it. Use the knife, because that's where it really shines, is the usability of this knife. And I think that's what made it such a classic. It was just such a nice, solid cutting platform for a folding knife that it just took the world by storm, and just everyone loved it. And now it's such a classic that people just can't let it go. It's still on fire. They sell so many of these things, I just can't imagine. It's like the Remington 870. Just awesome. Awesome. I can't say enough about this knife. It's one of my favorite knives ever. Just ever. I love old Buck knives. That's my favorite company. I do have a few other ones. Ontario is another one, but they seem to be, I don't know, the quality of their knives and their selection now just seems to be dwindling down. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Some of the other knife companies, there's a few other ones that I like, you know, or I should say, maybe a few models out of the different knife companies. And I'll be getting into those things. I got so many knives I have to do reviews on still. I have some older knives that I want to get out on the chopping block. But that'll be for another video. Guys, thanks for watching. Listen, my next giveaway is going to be 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. And it's going to be a good giveaway. Still trying to figure out what I want to do for the giveaway, but I know it's going to be big. And like, share, subscribe. Pull more people into this project. I also post videos on TikTok, Instagram, Rumble, Facebook, another upload site called UGETube, which is the Utah Gun Exchange. It's a good site. Check it out. And here on YouTube, which is my main site. So, guys, stick around. There's going to be a lot more to come. A lot more. All right, guys. Peace out. Don't cut yourself. See you next time. Later.